Arrow shooting airguns have opened air gunners up to an entirely new genre. Now you can get the effect of bow hunting with the ease of a rifle. These arrow shooting rifles add a whole new level to hunting. Let's dive into finding the ultimate arrow rifle that suits you perfectly. Based on a modified version of the Bullpup chassis from the Bulldog 357 caliber PCP airgun, the Benjamin Pioneer fires up to 8 full-size arrows with a full 3,000 psi charge in the onboard air reservoir at virtually identical velocities of 450 feet per second due to an internal pressure regulator. This compares quite favorably with premium crossbows that fire shorter bolts, typically slower than 400 feet per second, and generating up to 110 foot-pounds of energy over a 16-inch power stroke. The trigger is crisp, the whole machine is user-friendly. Squeeze the trigger like you would any other gun, and the arrow is released with an unmatched accuracy. A 2-inch group is easily achievable at 50 meters for a competent shooter. Couple that with a 375-grain carbon arrow hitting at 160 foot-pounds of energy, and you have a recipe that's capable of dropping most big game ethically. With an all-weather synthetic black stock and a long Picatinny rail, plus an additional Picatinny base with a 200 MOI cant, it gives shooters the features and options needed for long days in a field or tree stand. Also designed specifically for the Airbow is the Centerpoint 6x40mm scope, with the adjustable objective providing parallax settings from 5 yards out and the custom M-Tag reticle offering aiming points out to 75 yards. This airgun's so powerful that the German government wants to ban it. The GoGun 6 Needler is an impressively engineered CO2-powered revolver that achieves a level of penetration and localized damage far beyond typical CO2 pistols. The frame and cylinder are machine-molded and finished for a utilitarian look, which keeps costs down while still feeling solid in the hand. The removable 6-shot cylinder design makes swapping loads and clearing the gun fast and easy. It runs on 12-gram CO2 cartridges and uses a valve system tuned for dart propulsion. Stock standard valve numbers from the maker put muzzle velocity around 308 feet per second. There are also high-powered valves and aftermarket upgrades shown in field tests that push velocities higher. The 6 Needler fires short, lightweight 9mm diameter darts. The darts are narrow and pointed, designed to concentrate energy on a very small area, which is why penetration tests show them behaving very differently from BBs or pellets. What makes the 6 Needler feel dangerous is how it performs in testing. Multiple reviewers have demonstrated the pistol's ability to punch through barriers that would stop ordinary airgun ammo. Video tests show the needles defeating hard targets and penetrating protective materials that would normally blunt conventional projectiles. That capability is the reason it's controversial, and the reason governments are racing to decide how the law should treat devices that are low on formal energy numbers, yet high on real-world harm potential. While some airgun companies built airguns around a proprietary arrow, the Air Venturi built an arrow that would work in any 50 caliber airgun that has a bore diameter of .495. The 50 caliber Seneca Dragonclaw works extremely well with these arrows, delivering exceptional accuracy and power to the target. The airgun is a combination of what appears to be 3 blued barrels, a brilliantly polished and engraved receiver, beautiful hardwood Monte Carlo style stock, complete with a raised comb, laser checkered stock and forearm, and grip and quality open sights. While the dual chamber design permits more shots between charges, the Dragonclaw's real head turning feature is its ability to shoot arrows consistently, accurately at jaw-dropping speed of up to 500 feet per second. With the repeatable accuracy and straight shooting velocity, the Dragonclaw delivers. Confident shooters should have no problem taking their prey at much longer distances than most bow hunters ever attempt. For years, the airgun companies have all claimed to manufacture the most powerful arrow rifle, and in fairness, this has been open to debate as they were close in performance. However, the Hatsan Harpoon put that argument to rest as it's clearly the most powerful. Made specifically for use with commercial crossbow bolts, the Harpoon can send the 20-inch arrow downrange at 600 feet per second, and produce 325 foot-pounds of energy. That said, any 2219 size aluminum or carbon fiber arrow with a 0.3-inch inner diameter can be slid over the hollow guide rod that serves as the gun's barrel. Each fill of the onboard 500cc air tank provides 10 high-powered shots. Altogether, the substantial amount of energy and velocity the Harpoon should produce will provide hunters a marked improvement in terminal performance. With a bullpup-style layout, the Harpoon features a synthetic pistol grip stock and textured grip surfaces for all-weather use. Meanwhile, an elevation-adjustable cheek rest and an elevation and angle-adjustable butt pad allow for a customizable fit. For the mounting of optics, a long combination rail provides space to mount the included flip-up True Glow fiber optic sights or one's favorite crossbow scope. The rail also accommodates both 11mm dovetail and Picatinny mounts. Finally, the barrel cover features 2 mounted arrow holders that allow storage for extra ammo with no added bulk. The world's most fun air archery gun just got more. More velocity, more power, more air. How? To start with, Umarex boosted the speed and power of the Air Javelin by swapping the CO2 cartridge of the previous model with an upgraded PCP power plant. Now you get an arrow-firing airgun that uses 170-grain Umarex straight flight arrows to give you speeds up to 370 feet per second and power up to 52 foot-pounds of energy for hunting medium and larger game. You'll also enjoy the other big feature of this air archery rifle, which is a regulator with a limit of 1500 psi. That's why you can still use Umarex's high-pressure shaft technology arrows, even though the 7.4 cubic inch air tank on this PCP-powered arrow launcher fills up to 4500 psi. You get 25 shots overall at effective, ethical speeds before it's time to top up the tank, with the first 15 shots coming at full and consistent power on the regulator. The Umarex Air Javelin Pro also gives you an upgrade in the looks department with flat, dark earth highlights on the forearm, butt end, and trigger blade. No fill probe is needed as the tank's fitted with a male Foster-style quick connect fitting on the end, and optics can be attached to the generous Picatinny rail section on top of the gun. M-LOK accessories are also easily attached to the M-LOK slots found on either side of the barrel. I could see this airbow being beneficial to a hunter who is recoil sensitive or someone who needs to control pests in a quiet way. It's accurate, extremely simple to use, hits hard, looks cool, and it's priced to sell. Can one platform fire both bullets and arrows? That's the design premise behind the Traditions Crackshot XBR, a single-shot 22 LR rifle that converts to an arrow launcher. The Crackshot fires 22 rimfire ammunition in its standard rifle barrel, but swap that barrel with the package's dedicated XBR upper, and the unit transforms into a gun that propels arrows with enough speed and accuracy to take big game. The XBR power load is similar to a blank, and it pushes the arrow to speeds of up to 385 feet per second with a relatively quiet report. Hitting the bullseye at normal archery range is as easy with the arrow as it is with a .22 caliber bullet. Recoil is low and the rifle is lightweight, meaning the whole family can use it. The small powder charge in the XBR power load emits a low decibel reading when fired, but hearing protection is still recommended. Thanks to its well-designed synthetic stock, the Crackshot XBR is ergonomically pleasing when shouldered. The rifle is surprisingly light, weighing about 4 pounds. There's a side mount quiver that runs along the barrel for storing and carrying up to 3 firebolts. This double-barrel air gun uses high-pressure air to propel a 376-grain arrow at velocities up to 450 feet per second with a fully charged air tank. Arrows shot from a full tank reach energy levels over 169 foot-pounds of energy. This is more than enough for hunting big game and is, in fact, legal in 10 states for deer, and most states allow for feral species hunting with devices of this kind. The AirSaber Elite X2 uses a special carbon fiber arrow that weighs 376 grains by itself. These arrows accept standard and mechanical broadheads and are easily changed out. Shooters can expect to get 25 shots at big game lethal energy on one fill or 30 shots of predator lethal energy. The tank pressurizes at 3,625 psi, and the AirSaber Elite X2 comes with a Foster-fitting fill probe for easy fills with an HPA compressor, hand pump, or SCBA tank. The AirSaber Elite X2 is accurate out to 70 yards and has a top Picatinny rail for mounting an optic of your choice. Unlike other arrow shooting rifles, the AirSaber has a sleek form and a price that's hard to beat. This pistol might look like something out of a James Bond movie, but it isn't a toy. The FX Ranchero Arrow is a serious PCP pistol with a ton of power. FX has taken their older precision PCP air gun and converted it into a pistol that shoots over-the-barrel arrow bolts at velocities up to 240 feet per second. The precision is at the highest level thanks to the ergonomic handle, the match trigger, and the excellent build quality. The included 230-grain bolts with field tips offer versatility, allowing you to use various arrowheads for different hunting scenarios. The company is promoting this as a hunting gun for use at ranges out to 30 yards.